Hi there, Matt, Meg, Mackenzie, and Maddie. Hi, everyone. This is your video lesson for today. There are three things I want to talk about. I'll go down the list. At the end, if you have any questions or want me to look at anything, feel free to shoot a message back or a video over, and I'll take a look and give my 2 cents. So, cool, let's get to it. So, first thing is reviewing Twinkle in Lightly Row. Sometimes what happens when we get a new piece, I think she just started doing Aunt Rhody. Sometimes people forget to go back and make sure to review the older pieces or older songs. And then sometimes we have memory slips. The idea is that when she finishes book one, she'll have a bookworm herself and she'll be able to play through all those pieces. And if she comes across any other kids who can play that repertoire, she'll be able to hang pretty easily with them since she already knows all the songs by heart. So I want to review Twinkle in Lightly Row. First thing with those though is, thing to work on with those is focusing on those moonwalks and making sure that we keep that nice moonwalk going right there. You can play all of book one with one finger in a thumb, but the idea is that she learns how to alternate these automatically before we get to harder material in book two and beyond. So book one, even though, like I said, you can play it all with one finger over here if you wanted to, this is the time to really get this going, because there'll become a point where if you just play with one finger, the pieces will be too fast or too complicated to really play cleanly or very well. So making sure that, so Twinkle isn't that bad to do with the moonwalks because every note's doubled. So there's none of this with this moving around. Lightly Row is more difficult to do with moonwalks because you're changing notes as you're alternating. That's where the kids will sometimes want to use one finger when they're changing notes over here. Other spot to watch out for, called dragons, is that when you have a high string, or high string to a low string going this way, the kids will drag their finger through. Like that is a technique in more advanced technique. But for right now, the focus is alternating these right here. So watch out. So say if you're going, that would be a spot right there. That would be a spot right there that, that you would see maybe a dragon happen where you drag through the string is a crossing from a high string to a low string. So watch out for those. Number two is the G tonalization. For that right there, I would say watch out do some pinky push-ups to make sure that you don't overshoot over the fret wire on top of the fret wire. So say I would begin by just getting that ring finger on there and doing a few pinky push-ups, making sure that I'm not going past the fret wire. You want to be bumped up against it, and these fingers want to be BFFs right here, so they're stacked on top of each other. But you don't want to overshoot like that right there on top of the fret, because otherwise get that thud sound. So do a couple pinky push-ups, get it set so that way, and then like that right there. And then, like I said, watch the placement of the fingertips, making sure that she's on her tips of her fingers and that we're not collapsing any fingers this way, or we're not landing flat-fingered. So we want to stay on the tips of our fingers. That's important. Like I say, if you're playing even like super fast pieces, if you're coming out flat-fingered, that'll slow you down a little bit. If you watch any player who's fast, you'll see them on the tips of their fingers all the time. So make sure to do that for me. And then finally, with Aunt Rhody, I know we started it last time. I think it's about as far as we got. So what I want to do, because Aunt Rhody, sometimes the kids will forget how the tune goes. So it's important to listen to the songs. And now you listen to songs, like make up a funny sayings for the melodies. Make it worse for the melodies, like lyrics. And so for her, she can it could be about any topic. It could be about a cat, right? That cat there is so fluffy, or something. I don't know. It can be anything, but making up words can really help the kids remember the tunes a bit easier. Any improviser or a classical musician is going to be hearing the melody in their head as they're playing. If you don't hear the melody in your head, even playing chords, even if you were to play something like, there's a melody in there, like that is. And so when you're humming along to the riff or whatever happens to be the chords, you're humming the melody. And just because you're playing chords doesn't mean that there's no melody there. It's just on the top, or maybe in the middle for that matter. So it's important for us to get used to like having that tape inside of our head, and making up lyrics so that she can sing along is a great way to start developing that skill. So cool. So practice those 3 things. Like I said, if there's anything else you want me to look at, feel free to shoot that over, and we'll go from there for next time. So take care, guys.